Mr. Buddy Hackett.
Well, that sure was funny stuff.
Yeah. You think you'll be married 27 years?
Well, I'm married almost 20 already. I only got 7 more to go. You're married almost that long, aren't you?
What?
Well, I mean...
I would have been, yes.
I mean, if you add them up...
Folks?
Yeah.
Or snooker, or whatever.
Anyway, I'm going to tell you 3 animal stories.
Animal stories, all right.
Yeah, okay. The first one is a guy's driving a car, and he's going about 40 miles an hour, and he looks out, and there's a chicken running alongside the car. And he looks, you don't believe a chicken, and he goes a little faster, and he looks, the chicken got 3 legs. See, now he hits 55. He don't go more because they hadn't passed the law yet that certain places you can go 65. 55, the chicken shoots in front of him, cuts in front of the car, runs up an alley. This is also farmer stories.
Yeah.
Yeah. He runs up the alley. Guy turns around, goes up the alley. Farmer standing with a bib overalls. Can I help you? He says, yeah. A chicken with 3 legs was going so fast that he passed my car and run up in your alley. He says, I know that. That's my chicken. I raise 3-legged chickens. He says, why? He says, do you like a drumstick? I do. Does your wife like a drumstick? She does. Or perhaps you have a guest. Maybe Ed comes over and likes a drumstick. Gee, I never thought of that. How do they taste? He says, we don't know. We never caught one. Yeah, it was a terrific thing. I'm going to try and tell it in a way that they can't bleep it, but I doubt it. See, this guy says that, he says to another guy, he says, every time I sneeze, I have this complete gratification that comes from a way of having connubial fulfillment. Mm-hmm. He says, you mean every time you sneeze, you have a complete feeling as though you and someone you are closely related with through marriage had experienced many moments of gymnastics? He said, yes. He says, each time you sneeze, he says, what do you take them for it? He said, pepper.
We'll be right back.
Try to bleep that,
After a word from the...
A woman from the city goes to the country and she's at a farm. This is an animal story.
I understand that.
With a farmer thrown in.
Okay, got it.
Okay. And she says to the farmer, why doesn't that cow have any horns? He says, ma'am, there are many reasons why a cow don't have horns. Now, some are a hornless breed, like Angus. They're a hornless breed. Some, they get old, we've been milking them, and after a while, they get sensitive to the touch, and they don't like it. And their horns, they can be a little rambunctious. We cut the horns off. It's no pain to the animal. And some, when they're just calves, we don't want them to have horns, and we put a few drops of acid where the horns would form, and there are no horns. But the reason that that cow don't have any horns is because it's a horse. See, that had an animal and a farmer.
Very good, a combination joke.
Okay.
Lenny, but I've seen you play tennis. Now I'm trying to picture you on skis. And that's mind-boggling.
You know, with them Nazi ski instructors, you just get up there and you know, if you got a little one, you ain't never gonna learn.
Right.
Well, you're Jewish and you get one as big as that Indian. And he says, ski, Jew, and there you go. Happened to me. This is a true story.
There are a lot of things that are not explainable.
When my mother-in-law died, when Sherry's mother died, before she died, she was very sick. And in about 5-6 months, her brother died in New York. So she was out here, they didn't want to tell her that her brother was dead because she had enough problems of her own.
Right.
So they told her that her brother was deaf, so she couldn't talk to him on the phone. But they would tell her what he was saying. He was writing on the paper. Oh. Now she went on and she died, and I went to make the arrangements at the funeral home. And driving back, just like you see a picture on a television screen, right across my windshield, I saw my mother-in-law in the way they describe Elysian Fields, you know, right. Just running towards her brother, yelling, "Benny! Benny!" And she was, "Benny!" And he answered her in Yiddish, "Was schreist du? Denkst du, ich bin taub? What are you hollering? You think I'm deaf?" And I saw that just like, I'm telling you, like I see this monitor here. And they're not, well, there's one Shecky told me, which I had no intention of telling.
Who are you talking about? Shecky Green?
Shecky.
Okay.
Well, Shecky told me a story, and he says, "Please don't tell it on the Tonight Show." And I give him my word of honor.
He said, "Please don't tell it?"
Yeah.
And?
Here's the story. There was this degenerate horse player. He described a degenerate horse player. I don't know what that means. A degenerate horse player must mean a guy who not only plays the horses, but sleeps with them. I don't know that. So this guy has lost all his money, and he goes to his very rich friend, who Shecky called Harvey Silbert, which is some guy I know does all the Jewish philanthropies. Yes, right. You know, you get his name on everything.
Right.
If it ain't his name, it's Danny and Rosemary Thomas. They also raise. So anyway, he goes to this guy, says, "You got to give me some money. My wife is sick. She needs an operation. The doctor don't trust me. The doctor won't take my check. The hospital won't let my wife in. She's going to die. You're my last resort. Please give me some money." And Harvey says, "I am not giving you any money because you will spend that money betting the horses." He says, No, I won't. I've got money for the horses." So, when you blow up a balloon with onion breath,
yeah,
and you do that to somebody.
Oh, come on. We're going to take it.
But he made frequent appearances on The Tonight Show in both Jack Paar and Johnny Carson versions of the show. His frequent appearances on Jack Paar's Tonight Show were rewarded with a coveted appearance on Jack Paar's final episode in 1962.
Some steam to me. Do you keep your clothes neat?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you keep your clothes neat?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, see? I'm not too neat with my clothes. Say, like, I have a shelf with sweaters, and we're building a new house, so she want to put the old house on the market. So she's want everything neat for when the people come to look, see? So now she opened up this closet, and sweaters, you know, look like the sheep ran wild, and put the wool back where it was, you know? And she called me and she says to me, "Why? Why can't you keep your things neat?" She now had them all straightened out. She says, "Why? They were so jumbled. Don't you know when you take out a sweater, put your hand and let it come out and let it drop, then when you fold it up and put it back on top?" And I didn't know what to say. So I became a little boy, you know, like we all got a little boy in us. Do you have any?
Everybody, right?
And I said to her, "I didn't do that." I said, "You know, remember that time there was that earthquake when I nearly got killed? That's what happened. That's what happened that time." So now...
Big man sneaked in.
So, yeah.
You seem to have a lot of knowledge about a lot of different subjects.
I know a lot about a lot of things.
Yeah.
I know a lot about snakes.
No, he probably does.
Yeah.
What do you know about snakes?
Don't touch them, leave them alone.
Well,
In the 1970s, Buddy Hackett published a book of poetry called The Naked Mind of Buddy Hackett.
Not much sexual experience.
No, not much. No.
Until you got married.
Including.
Including?
Well, we only have 3 children. We just happen to hit each time. I always tried to get out of it.
Yeah, I know. I like to put you in a corner and then see if you can find your way out once you start to talk about it.
Yeah.
You always come up with something. You know. You ever draw a blank where you...
Are we still on the same subject?
Did you have something else?
No, but when you said you always come up with something.
That was a bad choice of words, wasn't it?
It might have been a bad choice of words, but I think that you selected them perfectly.
No, I did not. No. I did not. No.
Sweet face, don't I know you better than these folks? It's much better than if you drink it.
Okay, what about medicine? Tell me something about medicine I don't know.
Medicine is one of the best things to have if you don't feel good. Of course, the latest thing is interferon.
Well, that's the cancer. The body produces its own interferon, does it not?
The body's immune system,
Produces?
the body produces interferon.
Right.
People had tuberculosis and recovered from the cancer.
Yeah.
Because the body producing interferon to fight the tuberculosis
Right.
cured the cancer.
Yeah.
But now, do you know all this, what I'm saying to you?
Sure.
Oh, then you could find out if I'm lying. I want you to know that right away, because I make up a lot of this
I know
stuff.
you do. That's the way...
For his contribution to the motion picture industry, Buddy was given a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame and was later given a Golden Palm star on the Palm Springs Walk of Stars.
This guy is hunting for ducks. So, now this guy shoots a duck and it falls and hits a barn and goes into a guy's yard. So this guy he climbs over the fence and he goes into the yard and he's trying to get this duck. And this farmer come out, big guy, bigger than the guy with the chickens.
Big guy.
He says, "What are you doing in my yard?" He said, "I come to get the duck." He said, "That's my duck." He says, "It's not your duck." He says, "This is my yard. That duck fell, hit my barn." He's laying there. He says, "Yes, but it's not your duck. I shot the duck. I've been out hunting for a couple of days." He says, "Give me a break. You know, I'm from the city. You're from the city." "Well, you don't understand about property, do you? It's my property. It's my duck. However, I'll give you a chance at the duck. We can settle this country style." He says, "Country style?" He says, "Yeah." "Well, how do you settle a country style?" He says, "How? I kick you in the groin." The guy said, "Oh." "And then you kick me in the groin. And we take turns kicking each other in the groin. Who's ever left keeps the duck." The guy said, "Well, if that's what I gotta do." The farmer says, "I go first." And he hauls off. Whack! And the guy goes, "Ha ha! Ha ha! Whoa! Whoa! About half hour has passed, and he says to the farmer, well, I guess it's my turn." And the farmer says, "You could have the duck."
Hope you enjoyed reminiscing with Buddy Hackett's storytelling style of comedy as much as I did. Thanks for watching.